From being out of the game for 3 years to winning the heavyweight title, Jon Jones has once again proved why he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. And as he gears up for his first title defense against Stipe Miocic, here are some reasons why the former champion is afraid of Johnny Bones. Before I start, I just want to get one thing out of the way. In no way am I trying to throw any shade at Stipe. Jones might be on his way to become the greatest fighter of all time, but if I'm talking about the heavyweight division, Miocic is the prize. Along with being a terrific fighter, the former two-time heavyweight champion also happens to be a brilliant strategist. And while his fight against the legendary Johnny Bones is going to be an excellent matchup,
Nervous when I watched one of my friends fight, so it was a good fight, and just thought he got a good choke and got him out, couldn't get out of it, and that is what it is.
Many believe he's not that confident going into the matchup. For starters, Stipe is considerably older than Jon. The heavyweight champion is 5 years younger than Stipe, and while that might not seem like a lot, trust me, it's huge in the fight game. Jon will be coming in hot with a mental advantage. He knows he's much stronger and faster than Miocic. And when you're competing for gold in the most dangerous division at the promotion, speed and strength go a long way.
My fitness level, by the way I looked in the mirror, I'm a heavyweight now. That's why my teammates said, "Jon, you're a heavyweight now."
Plus, Ciryl Gane is not only younger, but in much better shape than Stipe, and if he couldn't contain the dominant Bones, how in the world will Miocic be able to fend off those brutal takedown attempts? But here's the thing, Jon Jones is all about mobility. Take that away from him and anyone can start chipping away. And sure, Stipe might be well past his prime, but he still has a chin of steel, along with crazy endurance. If he's able to land even a single shot to wobble Jones, the fight could be much more interesting than expected.
Every dude I can start talking to, I'm going to smash him. You ever watch Bad Boys? Bring all my boys over, it'll be a good time.
But that's only if Miocic makes it past the first couple of minutes. I think everyone watching this video knows how this fight will play out. Stone Cold might be afraid of going into this matchup, but if I'm talking game plan, I'm pretty sure both gentlemen know exactly what to expect. Jones will probably be coming in hot in the hopes to get an early takedown and neutralize his opponent as soon as possible. Stipe, on the other hand, will try his absolute best to prevent that from happening. But how is he exactly going to do that? Well, it's quite simple. See, Jon enjoys a reach advantage over the majority of his opponents. His lean arms and legs allow him to maintain the distance and trap his opponents, leading to some crazy takedowns.
Comfortable, and then I just, like I say, got me that overhand right, like getting out of the clinch, and it was a weird angle. What are you gonna do? Game over.
But since Miocic knows that's what he's after, he'll be trying to land that big blow early on in the fight. Every time Jon gets a bit too close or confident, Stipe will remind him who he's up against, courtesy of a deadly strike. And trust me, if he connects, Jones could find himself in a lot of trouble. But then again, whether the former heavyweight champion can deal with the terror of being taken down is a different story. Plus, Johnny Bones is on a different level when it comes to mind games. Look, there's no denying it. Jones is a scary guy, whether it's inside or outside the cage. He has this really smart strategy of getting inside his opponent's heads. He'll start off all respectful and praise them for being on top of the game for so long, and then escalate it to the next level.
And he's hot right now in the sport, so it's just fun to attach myself to his fight weeks.
Jones will casually start throwing around the idea that the fight will never happen since his opponent is so afraid of him. And by the weigh-in, you can actually see terror in his opponent's eyes. They're legitimately afraid to go up against him. Everything about the guy is just so scary. And considering how Stipe is this kind gentleman who prefers to do the talking inside the octagon, I don't think he can win the mental game against Jones, especially at this point in his career. And in case you haven't heard yet, Jones has already kicked off the games. He recently took a swipe at Miocic, advising him to take a break from his career and focus on training. Because if he doesn't, it's going to end up being one of the worst days of his entire career. Oh, and if you didn't know, the 40-year-old works as a firefighter whenever he isn't fighting.
Ride him out, whatever you got to do. You win while you can, and go out with some respect.
And normally, when a fighter is doing something so noble on the side, opponents will avoid talking about it. But not Jones. Firefighter, charity worker, whatever. He doesn't care about any of that. All he wants to do is put him away. And whether you agree or not, he's already in his head. Just think about it. This is literally the first time someone's talked about his career.
What did you think was going to happen coming in here?
I thought it was a good decision, just because I didn't know how John was. He took 3 years off, but hey, listen, hats off to him.
No one before John has even mentioned how Stipe is a firefighter. He's probably wondering why Johnny Bones would even say something like that. I mean, this guy randomly packs on weight, fights Cyril for the title, wins, and now he's advising him to quit his job for a while. I don't know about you, but I'd definitely be overthinking if I were Stipe. Plus, the next phase of the mental game is already underway. John has already started announcing how he doesn't think he'll be fighting Miocic anytime soon, since he's already started ducking him. The champion hopped on Twitter and took aim at Stipe, asking him to let everyone know whether he's in or not.
In my training right now, and I feel really good. I like it. Get to eat what I want.
Well, John, in case the silencer forgets to tell you, allow me. Stipe's camp has confirmed this fight will happen in July. There's no question about it. So I think it's time John drops all the fun and games and actually focused on training himself, because as much as Miocic might be afraid of him, this isn't exactly a fight to take lightly. Because if Stipe gets going, Jones can say goodbye to his GOAT status. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of this fight is to see whether Jones still has it in him to become the heavyweight GOAT. Is he still the same John who used to terrify every fighter on the roster?
And I just want to go home, hang out with her, and just relax. And I'm not worried about that. Let me heal up. It sucks getting old, man.
Or is his reign as the most dangerous fighter on the planet about to come to an end? Well, provided everything goes to plan, the fighting world will have their answer in July. And as for Jones, I'm pretty sure he knows Stipe is the underdog going into the matchup. He knows the fight world is rooting for him to defend the title, but that's exactly what makes this an interesting fight. John has once again found himself in a comfortable situation, with the entire fight world backing him to win the matchup.
Of this game, I'm so far ahead of this kid. So the fact that I'm even talking about him right now, I'm just going to stop.
The only difference in this one is that he's going up against a GOAT who just so happens to be a bit quieter than usual. And finally, Stipe isn't ready to let Jones get too ahead of himself. The former two-time heavyweight champion hit back at Jones by saying something straight out of Mike Tyson's playbook. And remember how John is already in his head? Well, guess what? It turns out I was right. Stipe was relatively quiet regardless of everything Jones had been saying, but it seems like the comments about his career were enough to get him talking. He advised the champion to tone it down a bit and not get too ahead of himself, because everyone likes talking until they're in a world of hurt. But this could very well just mean Stipe said that because he felt the need to respond, indicating he's scared of Jones. Anyway, that's why the former champ is afraid to take on John Jones.